All right, in this video, I have a pair of the Adidas AE1s. I've been waiting to get these in hand and on feet, and this is the first signature model from the NBA mega star, up-and-coming Hall of Famer Anthony Edwards. I think that this guy has a lot of promise. And it's really dope that he actually has his first signatured sneaker with Adidas. Now, he did have another pair that he was playing in a PE, the Boost You Wear pair. He even had like an Ant-Man times Ant-Man collaboration with Adidas and Marvel that was released. It's just kind of like a random pair, but this is his first real deal signature model. And I wanted to give you guys 3 reasons why I think that this should be a consideration for you to cop. Now, first things first, you have the box design. Looks really nice. It says Anthony Edwards model number 1, established Georgia 2001. Don't follow the wave. I like that it says that. Kind of cool. It says AE1 on the box, and then it does have the Adidas 3 stripes and then the AE logo. First impressions of the shoes right out of the box. For a $120 pair of sneakers, these things look really nice. They don't feel like 120. Honestly, they feel upper echelon, maybe like $150, $160 pair, similar to like the Hardline, which is a little bit more expensive than the standard pair. So $120 is a pretty smart thing from Adidas. They also came with extra set of laces, which I think is also super rad. Like, this is a really nice colorway. This one is called With Love, and I believe it's supposed to be a nod to his mom and grandma. But the colorway, it looks really dope. That Georgia peach vibe is very strong on here with the black accents. And then you do have a little bit of like a hot pinkish sort of color as well on the AE on the tongue, as well as the Adidas logo on the heel. And then the laces definitely match that vibe. So I think the lace swap would make these things pop like crazy. From pictures, they look pretty decent, but in hand, I really dig the design. And one thing I'll have to mention from the beginning, some people might get triggered from the honeycomb design. I get it. You know, the fear of holes or whatever it is. I feel that a little bit because I look at them and I'm like, I'm not 100% sure on the way I feel about all of the little porous little holes there. But I will say there is function to this that I'll get into in just a second as I give you guys my 3 reasons why I think you should consider. These are a little bit heavy in hand, and they weigh in at about 1.2 ounces per shoe. So that is on the heavier side for a pair of basketball sneakers. Part of the reason why is because of the crazy design with all of the rubber on the midsole and the upper of the shoe, along with the fact that there's Boost and Light Strike that is encased in the midsole. But I think that there's a reason for all of these things. So the first reason I think you guys should consider buying the AE1s from Adidas is simply because of the name Anthony Edwards. He is going to be a generational talent. Ant-Man has proven that he's quite a versatile scorer for a guard or a small forward. He also rebounds really well and is a defensive threat with quite an athletic build. What does that have to do with the sneakers though? Well, this is the beginning of his brand. Similar like the rookie cards that I have right here, it's kind of nice to get in on the ground floor on a pair of sneakers and an athlete when they're about to launch into space. And as I mentioned, Edwards is a very versatile player. Shooting guard, forward, whatever it might be, he could do it. But he's also really powerful, and these were designed specifically with him in mind. So when Adidas was testing out sneakers with Ant-Man, it sounds like he put so much force in his sneakers, by far more than any other athlete that they've tested, that they wanted to make sure that they were very reinforced so he didn't have any embarrassing blowouts like we've seen, unfortunately, from some other players in the league. Those blowouts usually happens on the seams of the sneakers, so with this model, due to the design, it contains his foot since it is wrapped from the bottom. So as I mentioned, yes, they weigh a little bit more, but it's with purpose because of the TPU and stuff that's wrapping along the sides of the shoe. He's not going to be blowing out the sides. Also, those honeycombs that I mentioned that might trigger some people, they're functional as well because you could see there's actually mesh underneath, making it a lot stronger than average, especially for this build, but also adding a little bit of breathability to the side panels as well. Now, it's not the most breathable pair of sneakers on the market, but you have to give and take some a little bit. When you want extra durability, you can't have as much breathability as some of the lighter sneakers that have the blowout issues. Also, I saw a quote that I like. He said, "I just want to play in them, show kids that they can get my superpowers when they play in them." And I love that. It's been one of the missing elements for basketball sneakers in general. He's been wearing this model a lot, and that's part of the reason why I think that this is going to be an amazing thing, because he doesn't have like 1,000 PEs that he wears and rotates every single game. And Ant-Man's gone on record saying that he wears his shoes a lot. He likes to break in a shoe and wear the crap out of it. So he wears it for like a month or more. He doesn't like to break out a new pair of shoes and immediately rock them on court because of that break-in period that he likes to have. Which means we get that luster of getting a pair of sneakers, seeing our favorite athlete playing in those sneakers, and then actually having that correlation instead of like the LeBrons and the KDs where they have all these special PEs that you never ever get your hands on. Even D-Book is doing the same thing. And he seems like a pretty stand-up dude. There was a quote from the other year where he was talking about how, you know, NBA players will come in and they'll be quote-unquote injured and then not play. But he's like, dude, there's people in these crowds that have paid. Maybe this is their one game that they're going to be able to see their favorite player playing, and they're sitting on the bench because they're hurt. So I like that he actually puts it out there on the court and understands like he's getting paid a lot of money. People want to see him play basketball. They're going to pay come see him in person. And I like that he has that connection, something that I feel like is missing, unfortunately, with some of the athletes out there. Also, he has a pretty strong relationship with the T-Wolves as well, because they were in full support of his launch. Like, they had the whole arena decked out for AE. He gave away a bunch of pairs as well to staff. It was a really cool moment, and shout out to Sneaker Reporter, who actually works over there. I gotta get out there in person and see Ant-Man play, and maybe I can get him to sign a pair of these as well. That'd be pretty rad. Anyways, the second reason I think you should consider copying a pair of the AE1s is because of the price point. The entry-level price point is $120, as I mentioned, and this is a pretty competitive price point across the sneaker market. The only one cheaper than this at the moment is Scoot's Puma model that just released at $100. The Ja 1 was $120, Tatum 1's $120, Luka 2 is $130, Sabrina 1 is $130, Giannis Freak 5 $140, Zion 3 $140, KD 16 $160, the Jordan 38 model is $175, LeBron 21s is $200. Then you have the UA Curry 11s that are $160, and the Harden 8 coming soon that is also going to be $160. The Trey 3s are $140, the Dame 8s I believe are $130, the Dawn 5s are $120, and the Melo MB 3s are $125. So the AE 1s coming in at $120 for the quality and craftsmanship that you get in this model, in my opinion. Great price point, very competitive price point, and a good savings, honestly, to the people buying the shoe. They said that they really want this model to resonate with the Gen Z demographic. I think that's a smart move, and I think we're going to see more of that Ant-Man and Melo like rivalries. Since they were both drafted in 2001, Melo obviously has his third model now, and then the AE1 being his first. I think this is a fun rivalry that we're going to see continue to grow because both of the models look actually pretty good. All right, the third reason I think you should consider copying is obviously the crazy unique design. Edwards said that for his AE1, he wanted something that did not look like anything else on the market. He said he didn't have a lot of creative input into what the sneaker actually looked like. He let Adidas really just do their thing. When creating it, he gave his feedback from time to time, which is honestly the smartest thing because designers really take the input and then they can actually make it happen, and I feel like they did a really good job with that. Obviously, you have the Light Strike and the boost in the midsole, giving them some extra comfort there. Eventually, they could use Light Strike Pro in some capacity because I feel like that would be really good. Maybe they could do like a dual density thing with Light Strike Pro at the top and then also boost light in the bottom layer. That would be insane. But I like that they made something look completely different, but also used some design elements that were functional, obviously not wanting to bust out the sneakers because of how much force he puts into the shoes. So with Van Hook heading up Adidas basketball now, who actually came from Nike. He was the one that helped Kanye design the Nike Yeezy 2s. Now he's over at Adidas. Then we have Jerry Lorenzo with Fear of God, and they're doing their Adidas basketball line as well. It would be really rad to see an Ant-Man Fear of God collaboration in the future as well. I feel like they could do some really crazy things with this sneaker where you hit the masses with the general release pairs that he's wearing, also do some special release pairs like a collaboration with Fear of God and some other things like that. The Harden 8 is another model that I look to and just see the futuristic designs that Adidas is bringing to the table. And I tweeted it out like a while ago that I feel like 2024 is going to be Adidas basketball year because they're just bringing such crazy designs out of the box. And a lot of the Nikes that I see on the market right now, unfortunately, just mimic that Kobe look, which is a good thing also because consumers like that. But it's like done so many times that I feel like it's not breaking out of the box too much. It's kind of going backwards in a sense, where Adidas is kind of going more forward. Now this colorway is pretty much sold out everywhere I've seen. If you're lucky to find a couple sizes here and there, I think that's a good thing. Hopefully they'll make more. I don't think that they're trying to make these to sell them out. They really want these on people's feet. For my kid's next basketball sneakers, for him, I'm actually going to get him a pair of these as well. I think that he's going to really enjoy these. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys for stopping by and watching. If you guys would like to try to buy a pair of these, I'll link them in the description over to the homepage on Adidas website because as of right now, they have no other colorways that are coming out. There is a Stormtrooper colorway that is coming out that looks really dope. But bright future for Ant-Man, bright future for Adidas, and I'm really, really excited to see where it goes. But thank you guys for stopping by and watching. Hopefully you guys have a good rest of the day, and drop a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the Ant-Man 1, and hopefully we'll see you back for some more content. All right, peace, guys.